This is our or our blueberry scones with fresh frozen, well, they're fresh frozen blueberries and lemon zest. We have 2 cups of flour, 1/4 cup sugar. I'm using Splenda. It's an eye for an eye when you use the bagged Splenda. 1 tablespoon baking powder. It's a half teaspoon of salt. I'm going to stir that all together. As you know, we always stir together our dry ingredients to make sure they're well mixed. And once you get them all well mixed and make sure that we don't get a clump of salt, then we're going to add either our 1/2 cup of dry ingredients, and we're going to also try 1 cup of fresh blueberries instead, fresh versus the dry, a little different consistency. So I will be right back to show you that. Okay, I've got the zest of a fresh lemon. I want to show you too on lemons that you zest just right to this white pith, P-I-T-H. It's very bitter, so you don't want any of the white, you just want the yellow. And I'm going to finish that up by getting all of that off of there. You can see that my zester's almost full, and then I will turn it upside down. And I've got my 1 cup of blueberries, and I will come back to you in just a second. I do want to point out that you don't want to go crazy and make sure you get every little yellow spot. Sorry, a little powder there, because you're going to get too much of the white part. So don't be too crazy about that, or else you'll end up with bitter stuff in there. All right, I'm going to stir my lemon zest and my blueberries around in my dry ingredients. My blueberries are frozen. Do not thaw your frozen blueberries. We have fresh. Just rinse them and pop them in, but the frozen, we don't want them to necessarily bleed everywhere just yet. They will bleed a little bit though. Okay, that looks like it's about a good consistency, that 1 cup of fresh. And then I'm going to add my 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to stir that around, so eloquent here with my knife. And I have 1 1/4 cups of heavy whipping cream, and it's a little over because I didn't want to bother with getting another 1/4. Otherwise, you just measure to the 8 ounces and then add 2 more ounces. I'm going to get that out of there and stir it up and see what it comes to. I'll use my spatula to get all that yummy goodness out of there. There we go. I want to show you as I'm stirring. It seems like, oh, I'll never have enough. It's not going to be enough liquid. It's too dry, but I'm going to keep stirring because we don't want super liquidy. This has to be kind of a little bit of a firm dough, so I'm going to see how that goes. But I want to show you that it's like, oh, that's not going to be enough, but we'll see if it is. Okay, that turned out nicely. I did add just a teeny tiny, maybe like 2 tablespoons more because I kind of spilled a little. This is our vegetable shortening. I'm going to go ahead and get some on my paper towel, and then I'm going to grease my pan, and I'm going to drop these on there by the tablespoonful or by the large spoonful. The important thing is that you're consistent with your size. I'm going to make sure I get this all there, and I'll come back once I've got them all on there, dropped by my spoon. All right, they're ready to go in the oven. I placed a little sugar in the raw, coarse sugar on top of it. I'm going to go into a 425 oven. They're about 15-minute bake time, but we're going to do about 13 just to make sure we don't overdo that. You're not going to use your timer on your oven because kids often turn the oven off. You're going to use the timer in your microwave. Start with 13, and then we'll see where we're at. We'll come back when they're done. Okay, it's been 13 minutes. I'm going to take a peek at this. I can tell that they're not done yet because they're still squishy. So we're going to do 2 more minutes. And we'll come back. Okay, that was about 16 minutes, and I want to point out, oh, shouldn't have done that, sorry. It's still wet. But I did want to point out that the bottom is much darker than the top. So see how the top's like doesn't look done, but if you push on it, it's firm, it's not sinking down in. And then if I go under it, probably should have put a little bit more shortening on it, but if you look at the underneath side, and you shouldn't be touching them right away like I am, it's much darker. So that's why you want to make sure that you touch the top, your finger's not dipping in. It might be still a little moist, but it should be crunchy to the top. And then the bottom's always more done than the top. All right, that is it for blueberry lemon scones. I'm going to make the glaze here in just a moment. Okay, we've got 1 cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Stirring that around. And this is definitely a dot, not a lot, right? So I'm going to drizzle that over 2 tablespoons and ½ teaspoon. And I mix that together ahead of time, right, kids? Because we know that when we mix together the ingredients ahead of time, like the lemon and the vanilla, that comes out better. And this seems like, oh, that'll never be enough, but look, plenty. And if you have white vanilla, that's fantastic. It's not going to colorize like mine did. So I really don't like that color, but I think it's with the lemon juice. So maybe if you do the lemon glaze, don't do the vanilla. Looks kind of poopy doopy. So I'm going to taste it. It'll taste fantastic. So lemon juice only, no vanilla with that one because that looks kind of yucko. Probably tastes delicious though. See how though it's going to turn into a drizzle, and we're going to keep stirring until it's smooth and it's a drizzle. But remember, no vanilla in that lemon one. Ugh. That's it for our scones.